Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. I got to tell you what, we have a Friday blast coming. Remember that 1-2 punch of a cold front? That's right. It's going to kick up some serious winds, could create blizzard-like conditions. Snow squalls, which similar to blizzards, just last for a shorter period of time. Terrible travel conditions possible and some cold weather and an exciting announcement to share with you tonight. Thanks for joining. Drop me a note. Let me know where you're watching from. Click the follow button on Facebook and, well, strap in because we have some talking to do about our weather.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
A lot of times I talk about it and it's growing pains. Those growing pains sometimes come with that warm up. When warmer air punches in over a frozen tundra, folks, it can be tricky. Today's winds caused very difficult travel conditions. We'll check those road reports in a minute. What you're looking at here, the yellow blob, that's the big temperature change 24 hours ago yesterday at this time. Let's check out some of these values, shall we, as we take a look. What do these yellows mean? How about 40 degrees warmer than yesterday at this time in the Fargo area. Grand Forks close to 35 to 40 degrees warmer, 15 degrees warmer for you in Minot. Hey, Duluth, 31 degrees warmer for you. Right now, Bemidji, 26 degrees warmer, and International Falls, woo-wee, 34 degrees warmer than yesterday at this time. So there is a big warm up that's taking place. Here's a quick peek at temperatures before we get going. Now, these temperatures across our region have definitely warmed, but again, we're at or close to freezing in many of our Minnesota counties, and even in North Dakota when we're blowing snow on the roads, it gets a little bit tricky. And I want to let you know that hutchesweather.com is a great place to go for resources when it comes to travel. I want to share this with you real quickly as we get going. We'll look at these road reports, but first I want to share with you on hutchesweather.com. You can get the latest right here with regards to the, well, interactive radar, as you see it right in front of us, showing the snow showers exiting through northern Minnesota earlier, continuing to impact places like International Falls and Lake of the Woods. You can zoom in on these and the like. Right at the top of the page, right over here, you're going to see that road conditions tab. Click that for the very latest. I'll go into detail on that, but here's the exciting announcement. I can't wait anymore to let you know that hutchesweather.com would not be possible with my sponsors or without my sponsors' support. And well, I got a new one to announce here, and I am very proud to announce Dumb Blazers Painting. Dumb Blazers Painting. You can click on this logo to find out more about their information, but they do it all, folks. They're talking residential, commercial painting, interior, exterior painting. They can get the job done. And let's go ahead and share a little bit more. When you click on the link, this is what you're going to see as you go to their launching a brand new website. And I'm so proud that they called old Hutch here and says, can you help us? We want to launch a new website and we want to get the word out about our wonderful painting company. 5 years in business, and a couple of things to let you know right off the bat. Number one, if you tell them Hutch sent you, how about a 10% discount? That's right. So give them a call. Thank them for sponsoring Hutch's Weather. And also, if you are in the armed service or you're a veteran, a 10% discount is there for you as well. Again, making just a salute to those who have, well, made an ultimate sacrifice or sacrifices for our country. We appreciate all of you. They're a family-owned business, again, 5 years of service, and they're expanding their operations. Now, they're in and around the Otter Tail area, but they service the tri-state region, a growing company. And again, Dumb Blazers Painting, they can get the job done for you. You can find more information on hutchesweather.com about Dumb Blazers painting services right here. And again, thanks to Dumb Blazers, Sean, thank you. And thanks to all of you for your support of Hutch's Weather and passing the good word along that we're here to help you, well, through some tough weather conditions. Now, let's take a look at what we have going on. We've talked about temperatures. We've talked about the temperature change, but those road conditions out to the west in central North Dakota have been ridiculous. Do you see the Candy Cane Road here? This is Highway 83 between about Bismarck and Minot. Now, it is red because there is a no travel advisory on this highway. Elsewhere, we see the yellows. That's icy road conditions in these areas. Now, if you're traveling in these areas, the conditions are very terrible. It's solid ice. There's been a number of crashes and cars ending up in the ditch. Keep that in mind. All of this iciness, all the way across Highway 2, all the way up into northeast North Dakota, caused by the wind blowing snow over the road today as we enjoyed those 30, 40, or 50 degree warmer temperatures than yesterday. unbelievable. So keep that in mind as you're going across the region. It is icy out there. A quick look at Minnesota roads. Now, the colors on Minnesota are a little different. Blue is partially covered roads. So we do have that. Down in the Twin Cities areas, there are a couple of roads down there, if you zoom in, that are pink. And again, you can get this information at hutchesweather.com by clicking on the road conditions tab. Whether you're looking for Manitoba roads, Saskatchewan roads, South Dakota roads, Iowa roads, they're all right here so that you have easy access to that information when you need it most. Hutchesweather.com, one-stop shopping. Let's talk forecast, shall we? What are we talking about with Friday? Well, we're talking about two cold fronts kind of moving through. I say kind of because it really is. In the morning, we'll have the warmest temperatures of the day. Cold front number one, not as strong, but it's going to start that cooling trend. It's going to come with ridiculous winds gusting to around 40 miles per hour. Let me show you what it looks like on the forecast model here as we zoom through. Now, taking a look at this, we're going to look at this other model here that goes out just a little bit farther than this one does to show us the basics on this particular system as we go into the late week. Now let's go ahead and look at this model. This is the Canadian model. I like to use it once in a while just as a refresher. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this one's just coming in. So I'm going to back off just a little bit and look at this one that has a few more hours. So what you're looking at, black lines are isobars. The blue lines, that's a cold air mass, and it's colder and colder and colder as we go up into parts of central Canada. And here is a ridge that's really allowing things to warm up. That's what we're enjoying right now. As I set this puppy into motion from your morning tomorrow on Thursday, it's going to be another mild day for the early part of the day. Our winds become more westerly and southerly out ahead of that puppy right there. And that puppy has a lot of bark and a lot of bite. As this puppy works its way through, it's kind of an Alberta clipper coming out of Alberta and Saskatchewan. As it works its way through, we'll have an increased chance of a little bit of snow in our northern counties or mixed precipitation here. Again, winds as we go through Thursday will be increasing, and much like today, kind of breezy. Temperatures, much like today, kind of warm. But with that wind out there, watch for slippery roads because temperatures are going to still, for many of us, be near freezing. And that's all you need. Now, this is the first of three fronts that cross. There's the warm front. That keeps us nice and warm. We like warm fronts. After that, northwest winds rush through, and that begins the beginning of the end of our warm weather on Friday as we rise and shine. Warmest temperatures first thing in the morning. See all these blue lines stacking up? We call that temperature advection. That means cold blobs of air will be blowing our way. Now, sometimes you can have warmer temperature advection, and that's what we're enjoying today. But this is the cold stuff coming with flakes, and here's the really ridiculous winds. If you're in Winnipeg, if you're in Brandon, Manitoba, look out. By the time you rise and shine, it's blowing like crazy. And down here, we're going to have 35 mile per hour winds to greet you at the door in the morning. Friday's temperatures in the morning, well, around 30 degrees for many of us, but falling throughout the day. Now, as this wind blows through, you see that right here, northern Minnesota, places with any fluffy snow left at all is going to cause blowing, drifting. This moving through is going to cause some near zero visibilities as we go through Friday and into Friday night. So not only will we have a little bit of fresh fallen snow with insignificant amounts of snowfall, it's going to cause a lot of blowing, dusting, icing, near zero visibilities potentially, as well as those falling temperatures throughout the day. Now, the north winds just continue to rip as we go into Saturday, and look at the blue lines. They just keep marching south with more of them coming. It's like they're ants lining up to head to your picnic, right? Well, the cold air picnic is on here as we go into the weekend, and some mighty cold temperatures are here. Let me see if I have any questions for you before I go on any further at all, and then we're going to go over the forecast, and I'll put that up behind me so you can kind of peruse that while I'm looking for your questions, because interactivity is part of the fun of Hutch's Weather. It's what I enjoy, and it's where I can add something to the broadcast that you may not get in other locations. How long will the cold be? It's going to be a long time. Now, there will be a hitch in the giddy up where we warm up just a bit, but then it looks like we're right back into the cold air. I looked at a long-range model, and we went over it last night. There'll be a couple of brief warm-ups here and there, but all the way through the end of the month of January, where we are right now, it looks mighty cold out there. Thanks for asking. Wind speeds. Okay, wind speeds as you see behind me here, as we go into Friday, it doesn't say that, but we'll have gusts to 35 throughout the day on Saturday. That's calming down after gusts over 45 miles per hour will be present as this system works its way through. Now, if you live in northern Minnesota, and if you happen to live near a bunch of pine trees or trees, that does slow down the potential for higher gusts. But it doesn't slow down the ridiculous drifting that happens around those obstacles to the wind. So keep in mind, snow, lofted snow, it's going to cause some icy roads. So Friday, gustiest winds as the storm moves through, but it remains gusty right through Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday morning as we see temperatures just plummet there. Let's take a look at a couple more questions, and I'm going to pop over Pedro here. Sorry, Pedro, he's napping with old Hutch here at the weather wall. He can nap. He's worked real hard today. You're welcome, Angela. Thank you, and it looks like Sheila watching as well. Thank you very much from Wheaton. It's good to have you on board. Thanks so much, East Grand Forks, for watching, Barbara. Good to have you on board, Dave. Park River. Oh yeah, gotta tell you what, beautiful country up there. Hi from Cavalier. Oh, beautiful country. Highway 5 country. It has to be icy. Some of that snow up there, pretty doggone slick. Thank you very much for the congratulations, Kathy, but I want to congratulate Dumb Blazer Painting for sponsoring Hutch's Weather, taking a step. They're here for you, so keep them in mind. When you need any painting work done at all, they will take care of you. Okay, now let's take a look at what we have going on with the forecast. So we talk about tomorrow's temperatures near 30 degrees once again, and it's going to start with some snow showers up north, more clouds as well. So we may not enjoy as warm a temperatures as today, but it's still going to be plenty warm. Remember, that's a warm front coming, so some of us will actually hiccup a little higher, and then it won't take long for the first of the two cold fronts to get here. Friday morning, we start out at 31, dropping to 21, dropping all the way down to 2 above on Saturday. It won't take long Saturday in the afternoon to be below zero. This zero is the afternoon high, and it's not going to be too balmy out there at all. And in fact, with gusts to around 35 miles per hour and those cold air flurries that always happen when Canadian air masses come on down, we're going to have temperatures falling to 14 below with wind chills around 40 below in places as we go into Sunday morning, maybe even colder for some of you in the Devil's Lake Basin. Then on Monday, the coldest of the air arrives in the FM area and Grand Forks, Devil's Lake, the entire region, northern Minnesota. The northern one half will see teens, 20s, and 30s below for air temperature. Air temperature. Factor in the wind chills. That's why Hutch says wind chills to 55 below zero. And I might be being a little conservative on that. It's a lot harder at the newer wind chill calculation to get to those values that we saw, say, back in the 1930s or 40s or even the 80s when we had dry stretches of weather. Now, we do break out of it here as you asked the question. We'll see temperatures rising Tuesday and into Wednesday. But check this nonsense out. Wednesday morning, the temperatures start falling again as another cold front is lining up for us to close out the month of January with more of this ridiculous nonsense. So thanks a lot. Burr is indeed the case, Linda. Thank you for watching. Hi, says Lynette, and hi to you as well. Hazen looking on. Hey, that's great, Ryan. Good to have you on board. Now let's take a look at some more data here before we button up the forecast. Number one, this is your afternoon planner. Winds will be a shifting as we go through the day. It will be gusty tomorrow, about 25, maybe 30 miles per hour once again. There's the flakes of snow that are coming with the warm front in the latter part of the day. So another day with temperatures near 30 degrees. In the morning, not too bad by recent standards, but I have to tell you, check hutchesweather.com because these roads that got wet today will get icy as we go towards morning. Sorry, those graphics were backwards. There's that 7-day again, and I got to announce this. As we go into Sunday and Monday, the cold wind chill takes hold. Here's Sunday. We won't get out of order here on this one. I'll try not to anyways. Wind chills around Fargo around 30 below zero to 40 below zero as we go northward toward the international border. That's brutally cold. And I know I'm standing right in front of Minnesota, but I got you. Me and Pedro, we're going to do an about face here and a whoop. And there we go. Bemidji, 35 in Brainerd below, 40 below for you folks in Bemidji, 42 below in the Baudette area and International Falls. So all in all, it's going to be brutally cold on Sunday morning. And that's just the start of it because as if I can find my... let me see, I'm using my computer here, my new setup with my stand-up wall. I like to stand up. It helps Hutch's back a little bit. Here we go. Check this nonsense out for Monday morning. This dark blue area, 50s below zero, will not be out of the question, mainly in our counties north of Highway 2. Enough wind and temperatures, air temperatures that'll kiss 30 below zero, maybe a little bit more, will allow wind chills to be close to 55 below for some of us. That's just brutal. And it's time to really make sure that you have a decent survival kit with all of the necessary items to stay warm should you become stranded for an hour or 10 hours or 12 hours at roadside with this kind of nonsense going on. 39 below Fergus Falls, 45 below for folks in Bemidji, and that's the way it looks. You know what? Sometimes when we see forecasts like this, I know you want to throw a rubber brick at your computer screen or maybe just drop your cell phone and walk off. But I got to tell you what makes me smile about my job is I get to share it with some pretty fun people, and that's students. Hey, would you know someone who wants to be a Hutch's weather kid like Ellie McQuiston did? Ellie is going to be debuted tomorrow. You'll get to see her perform the weather, and we love your patting on the back. So give her all the thumbs up and let her know what you think about her broadcast, because she is one great young lady, and I can't wait to show you her work tomorrow, 4:30, right here on Hutch's Weather. You can catch it anytime on my website. And if you have a student who wants to sign up to help Hutch do the weather, I want you to head on over to Luther Family Ford. Sign up right there. Tell them Hutch sent you. Where do I sign up? And they'll point you in the right direction. You can also sign up on the Weather Kid tab, Hutch's Weather Kid tab on hutchesweather.com. All right, let me see if there's any other questions before I check out for the evening, because it is time for me and Pedro to take a break. But it's so good to have you here. Why does the terminology change? No longer wind chill warning. Michael, that's a great question. The National Weather Service is trying to simplify some of the products, and here's what we never had before. We used to have wind chill advisories and we used to have wind chill warnings, but we didn't have a cold weather advisory. So think of this backwards, but essentially we could, or the Weather Service would alert people for wind chills when there were wind chills, but we didn't have something in place to warn people when there was no wind chill, but the temperatures were just cold. So really, it's all about the cold weather, whether it feels cold because of the wind chill or because it's just downright cold with 30 below temperatures. So that's the difference there, simplifying some of that terminology to a cold weather advisory, meaning there's a good chance it's going to get nasty cold, to a cold weather warning when temperatures are so low, be it air temperatures or wind chill values are so low that people could succumb to things like frostbite and hypothermia very, very quickly. Thank you for your questions, by the way. You guys are the most good. Susan, hello from Moffat. Moffat, hello. I love it that you're watching out there. And let's take a look here at watching from Grand Forks, looking for any questions. Thanks for watching from the Northwest angle. How's the fishing? Share an ice report if you're up there and let us know. This is one of the colder years, and I know that the last 2 years have been a little questionable on our icing and making of ice. I've seen some reports from Otter Tail that the ice is pretty deep in places, but you never can trust ice thoroughly. Know those areas where the ice has those fractures in it. Measure before you're going up there in your big vehicle and rig. But again, any reports you provide from stuff I know would be good. Hello from Detroit Lakes, and once again, thanks again to all of you for watching Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com. Hey, do me a favor. One of the reasons that I've been allowed to grow so fast over this 1 year of broadcasting to you via my new channels, hutchesweather.com, my Facebook channel, and my YouTube channel, is because you pass the good word along, but also because you take the time to click the follow button, you take the time to click the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. That's a big thing for me, because what that does, it delivers the message to more people. So share this video if you can. Let people know I've got a brand new sponsor on hutchesweather.com. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. But remember, Friday, weather trouble. Weather trouble indeed, as we take one more look at the 7-day planner here. I'll pull that back up, as we're going to have that double shot of cold fronts making their way through. And as that happens, we're going to see some serious winds gusting over 40 miles per hour from the north. That's going to cause falling temperatures, but that's the least of our worries on Friday. Icing it up, taking any snow that's around. If it's not all slush, it's going to blow. It's going to be very icy, and there's going to possibly be areas of whiteout and near blizzard conditions. So National Weather Service is not pulling any punches on this. Just stay weather aware with hutchesweather.com. For now, thank you for joining me. For now, thanks for supporting all of my sponsors, both here on my streams and on my website. And most of all, thank you for watching. and have a wonderful night. Stay warm. And make sure that you, well, let's see, I think it's that time of year where you want to check the tire pressure, right? Because when we see temperature swings of 50 degrees, your tire pressure changes. Make sure that you're filling up and topping off your washer fluid before you go anywhere. No fun getting stuck after a plow gets your windshield covered. They're doing great work out there, but you got to be prepared for it and make sure you have that survival kit. Have a good night. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for following and subscribing.